Howdy, dudes. What's up? This is the Demo Team Podcast. My name is Cash Spicer, and we're the only podcast that supports your addiction to Dance Gavin Dance. We're here with Moses, as always.
What's cracking?
Anything good this weekend?
I don't know. I had like these buffalo chicken, cheesy popper things from Trader Joe's.
All right.
They were pretty good.
Sounds bomb.
What's up, David?
Hey there, man. Shoot, it's the weekend. I'm enjoying it. Taking some time off. It's nice.
Oh, yeah, you're always working, man.
A little bit. But shoot,
Yeah.
It's good. It's good for you. Making money, it's all good. But shoot, how you been?
All right. I just ate a big old plate of ribs.
Nice.
Ooh, that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I'll be a little sleepy for this episode.
Hey, what's your favorite barbecue place in the Dallas area?
Dallas area? What is it? I gotta think of what it's called.
Because you go from Austin to Dallas, right? Or
Yeah, I mean, like, I could tell you, like, Austin for sure, but
have you had a Cadillacs, or I think it's 1050 in Dallas?
Maybe Cadillacs, but I'm not sure.
Cadillacs is pretty popular. And then there's a Pecan Lodge, but I haven't been to that one.
I think I've been to Pecan Lodge. I like Big Al's. That one's good. And then there's one in, what is it called? The part of South Dallas that they're gentrifying.
The Oaks or whatever.
It's like named after some like small town in Texas. But
I don't know.
Listening to Ryan, he hasn't gotten to talk yet. Oh, Lockhart, that's what I was thinking of. But
Lockhart?
Yeah, Lockhart.
Oh yeah, I've had Lockhart, but the one in Plano, and that place is pretty good.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not like the best. But it's like your solid. It's like your solid, A- B+ barbecue place.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with barbecue in Texas unless you go to like Dickies or something.
Yeah. Even Dickies get your fix, just the bare minimum, but it'll do. But Ryan, how are you doing?
What up? I'm doing good. I've been eating lots of greens. Smoking them more likely. But no, I've been eating lots of pretzel dogs as of late. I found like a nice. They're just really good, and I've been eating that a lot. But as far as barbecue goes, I live in the IE, and I mean, I don't know too many good barbecue spots. I know about Famous Dave's in Ontario. That's about it.
Yeah, that's like Famous Dave's is your like chain that's kind of all over, and it's all right. But for the most part, California has like shitty barbecue.
I mean, y'all got like a lot of cows, right? So y'all could do. If y'all had the know-how, I feel like you could pull it off.
If I knew where they were, I'd be there, but I don't. So if you guys got good California, SoCal barbecue recommendations, please help a poor man.
Or NoCal, because or whatever.
NorCal.
Yeah, NorCal, NoCal. I'm sure Moses could appreciate that too.
Yep.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today, Cash?
Mothership, everyone's favorite, because it never ends, because it's an infinity sign.
Or it's a Mobius strip.
What?
It's a Mobius strip.
What's that?
Mobius, it's like the symbol that you see. It's like constantly going. It's kind of like the thing they, if to give it a reference, you'd probably understand. If you watch the last Avenger movies that came out, it basically gave him like the pattern he needed to correct time travel, or to perfect time travel, I should say.
Interesting.
But if you look up Mobius strip, like you'll see it looks exactly like the Mothership symbol.
Is it like a sacred geometry thing or something, or is it just a symbol?
It's supposed to be like a symbol that it basically has no like start or end to it. Like it's like one of those things that are like an optical illusion when you look at it. Like it doesn't look like it doesn't overlap. You know what I mean? Like it's just one constant shape.
It's like the bootstrap paradox.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into conspiracy theories on this podcast now.
We are the deep state.
All right, Mothership. Anything to say before we hop in?
What up? Oh,
hop in the Mothership.
Nah. I think aren't we starting off with this deception?
Yep.
That.
Unless we're not, and we deceived you.
Oh, shoot! I see what you did. But not like shoot, Cash. You want to start us off? I guess. Like.
How about someone else?
Yeah. So deception. The song features Andrew Wells on guitar. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the song would make a great anime opening theme song. Like, I don't know, something about it, like how it starts off very mellow, but then it kicks off to that like riff, like it just reminds me of a lot of like anime for some reason.
You could say that about a lot of dance music though.
Oh yeah, for sure, especially on this album.
Definitely this album, yeah.
But that's funny.
Yeah,
I really got this one.
I really like the structure of the song. Like it goes intro, verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus instead of having the bridge at the end. But I guess they do that a lot, and I think the way that they go about it, or at least the way that Tillian and John talked about it on like a podcast, is that they'll write the song like completely like beginning to end, where it will kind of have a regular structure, and then Will kind of messes with it, like all right, well, I want to put the verse here and there, or only do the chorus once type of thing. And I guess that's kind of why you get like all these weird dance songs where like the structure is like not your basic structure, and things are kind of like, sometimes you get the bridge like, you know, right after the first chorus, which I don't know, it's kind of cool. It changes up the song and doesn't make it seem as repetitive.
For sure, yeah.
But yeah, moving on, to me, it's probably one of Tillian's like best vocal performances. Like I wouldn't say to date, but definitely when the album came out. I mean, you get a little falsetto like in the intro, and I guess I should say that I don't know. I feel like I bring up his falsetto a lot, but it's only because like I really dig his technique, and his voice is already like a pretty high register. So when he kicks into the falsetto, it's like, dude, this guy can go even higher. It's pretty
right,
and like really get that in this song, because like he kind of teases you in the intro. Then he actually shows off some grit like at the end of the first verse, and like I really dig that chorus. Like I think like his voice and Matt's drumming like just really, I don't know, make that chorus hit. Like you're like just like, damn, like I really feel this. And I know like a lot of people, I don't know, they would say that Tillian is all technique, no emotion, but this song and Inspired
I disagree.
Life, and a lot of the songs at the end of this album, like they're filled with a lot of emotion for sure.
Facts. Like the aggression line you're talking about, where it's like he's like self-deprecation to settle the score. Like he's like adding vocal grit and stuff like that. And like this song, like, dude, Moses, I gotta agree with your sentiment, like about you get like a super strong vocal performance, because like you're right, like he does the falsetto thing. He's adding vocal grit and going aggressive with John, like and then later they have that section where they slow down and he's like just leaning into the falsetto thing.
Yes, that's the bridge, and oh man,
yeah.
that falsetto is absolutely crazy, dude.
Tillian was all over this song. Like he honestly killed it. Yeah, there's like a lot of different techniques, and it's and good taste. The dude killed it. What do you think?
And then other than that, like Will just knocks the entire song out of the park with his guitar work. Like it's like nothing bad to say about the song. It's great, beginning to end. Who wants to go next?
I was curious. Yeah, like do you have any like favorite Tillian lines in here? Like,
I won't be plastic or neutered or numb.
Yeah. That's a great line, especially the way that he like delivers it.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a fry on his vocals a little bit. It's nice little scream from him.
Yeah, yeah, it's like, and it fits with like the lyrics and what he's talking about. I just like it. It's good.
Yeah, he said neutered.
Who's going next?
Yeah.
He will not be neutered.
I'd hope not. But
Dave,
shoot.
you want to go next?
Me? I felt like I already kind of went. I was actually curious about your thoughts, Ryan.
Oh yeah. I would say like Deception, like these tracks we're going over today are probably easily some of my favorite from the album. I think most of them were in my top 3. But the song itself, I just gotta say, like I really appreciate like Matt Mingus's drum work on this album, just like the chariot movement of like the double bass.
But yeah, I have to agree with you, Ryan. Like the amount of double pedal like in this album is great. Like,
yeah,
I wish all the albums like had this amount of it. It like really builds up the choruses and yeah, like I'm a huge fan of that double pedal.
See, honestly,
definitely. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I appreciate it. But yeah, honestly, I like it more sparingly. But no, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was listening to the chorus and like you have the double pedals just going off and like Tillian singing the chorus over it. And like I think that's the funny thing, that's probably one of my highlights of the songs. And it's weird because earlier, like years ago, I was like, I remember saying I didn't care for this chorus, but like that's just completely changed years later. Shoot.
Oh, it's a really heavy chorus too.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's a metalcore song, but it's like with the way it's like delivered and everything, it's delivered with like a pop, like in your face kind of just like catchy ass chorus, and it's just very fun, very bouncy, a lot of life. Like you got that just like with the double bass and and just the bass itself, like there's just a lot of feeling. Like you feel this song because it like beats you over the head with like it's.
I mean, shoot, like, the chugs, man, and like the first and later sections, like dude, Will's going in. I like that. Like
100, dude.
Yeah,
Cash, I think that you would be next in line. You and your Thunderbolts.
All right. I guess I'll start off by saying that I feel like this song doesn't really get enough, like, doesn't get talked about enough. It doesn't really get enough, like, credit from, like, the Dance Gavin Dance, like, fans. It feels like, I don't know, it just feels like it's underappreciated. Anyone else feel that way, or?
Actually, like, I mean, I definitely see people that like have some love for it, but it's definitely not, one of the top singles or anything.
I never hear people talking about it that much, so.
It's funny though, like this guy from school I went to with, we ended up going to a concert, a DGD concert, like, we had no idea. And later he was like, yeah, I just got into this band. And like, he noted, he was like Deception. Like, he started like trying to figure out the bass for that track. Like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Deception. Yeah, I think, it has some love, man.
But I don't know. Yeah, that's basically all I've got to say about this.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, like, this song and Here Comes the Winter, like, these two songs on this album, they feel like Dance Gavin Dance doing, like, their best to pay, like, homage to, like, I'm like, not intentionally, of course, but it definitely sounds like In Fear and Faith to me, who is just, like, a band that loves...
Really?
That was actually
the
first, like, metalcore band I saw was In Fear and Faith.
Nice. I saw them. Yeah. Would you see them at the Squash the Beef tour?
No, it wasn't Squash the Beef. It was. I don't remember what it was, but I have a poster from it, and I could visualize like what the name of the tour was, but I just can't think of it. But Go on, Ryan.
Yeah, I was gonna say this one and Here Comes the Winter, just like the amount of double bass, like singing, screaming parts where like the singing and screaming is synchronized, it definitely gives me that vibe, which like in Fear and Faith, like was like their bread and butter. But like that's all it's just like reminiscent. I don't think it was intentional or anything like that. It's just I feel like it was something that they used to do a lot.
I'll have to check them out because like I like one bands that I never pay attention to or I think it's weird is when a band names their like band name after like a band song that like had just recently like come out. Because I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that name
Yeah.
not that much after Juturna came out, and
Yeah,
like
they totally
like
did that on purpose too. They named it
yeah,
after.
and
It wasn't even like it's not like when I Set My Friends on Fire came out and they're like, oh, we didn't name it after that Aiden song. It was like,
yeah.
yeah, you did. But
Like there were
yeah,
so many pop punk bands came out that were named after title fight songs or the Story So Far songs, and before that, like they were all naming themselves after Newfound Glory songs. So like, yeah, those are usually the bands where like, I guess I'm gonna like already know what they're about. I don't really
I would,
need to like listen to them,
as soon as you're
but
done with this
I'll have to
podcast,
check them out.
as soon as you're done with this podcast, look up "Live, Love, Die" by In
All
Fear
right.
and Faith, and tell me how you feel because it's got exactly like this song where it's all double bass and like screaming and singing, like it's just in the same vein as always.
I will
That
do.
reminds me, I have a In Fear and Faith tank, but it's like made up. It's like in the Pabst Blue Ribbon like logo, and it says In Fear and Faith instead on it. It's pretty
That's
cool.
glorious.
Yeah,
Like definitely,
it's
like
fun.
if you've never listened to In Fear and Faith, they're like Broadway, but like heavier than
Yeah.
Broadway was.
Are we moving on to Inspire the Liars?
That'd be dope, yeah.
That would be dope.
All right. Well, so this song features Zachary Garrett on guitar.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. That intro makes more sense now.
I think the whole song kind of makes sense because you get like a really nice funky vibe too, and or I mean the bridge. But yeah, in a Reddit AMA that they did for Mothership, someone asked John what his favorite lyrics on the album were, and he replied by saying "butthole," and I think he was referring to this song because he does say butthole somewhere in this song. Like I really wish I knew what pedal or effect was being used in that intro because it just sounds like really cool. Like it's a cool little vibe. Like I really dig the whole song, and like the fact that it kicks off with that like riff that almost kind of sounds like a flute or something. Is really cool, and I feel like Tillian's vocal performance is pretty on par with what he did in Deception. Like you get a lot of, I don't know, a lot of technique and emotion out of him, and you get that grit in the chorus. I don't know. The song has like a really dope, like funky bridge, and we get some nice, clear bass lines in the verses and in the bridge. So shout out to Tim. I feel like I've seen. What's up?
Like, if anything, yeah, that funky bridge is probably like my favorite part of the song, honestly. And even like Tillian's like lyrics, like if anything, that's like a super funky part. Like, and Tillian like going over it, like honestly, it was like the icing on it. Like that section's dope.
Yeah, and like I said, for Deception, like I think this is a great example also of how Tillian is more than just technique. Like there's definitely emotion behind some of his like songs and like the melodies that he comes up with.
For sure, especially I mean, yeah, even the part we just mentioned, the funky part, like if anything, I've always found that funny, like everybody on my dick like preacher, like I never got that line, but I don't know. The dude's just going off. Like, he's having fun, obviously, you know, even though I don't know what he's going on about, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they've. It's not the first time that they've kind of made a parody out of religion. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I kind of like I get it, and I'm down with it, man. They should do it more often. Anybody got anything else to say about the song?
It's interesting. Like, a lot of people will be like, you know, this is like point to this as like their best song, or like it's definitely played a lot in concerts, and it's like, you know, I see it's a solid track through and through. It's great, but I don't know. It's like whenever I listen to Mothership, I'm not like, you know what? Yeah, let's throw on Inspire the Liars. I don't know.
Feel that for sure.
I don't know. But it's a great track. I recognize that.
I think Ryan has compared this song to "We Own the Night," and I get that comparison because like the structure and the chorus are pretty similar. But with that being said, I'm surprised that this song isn't like bigger than "We Own the Night."
It's pretty big though.
Yeah, but I'm saying it should be it should be bigger because "We Own the Night" is still #1 on their Spotify.
I mean, it kind of makes sense though, because "We Own the Night" is such a catchy chorus, or like, you know what I mean? Like it's
pretty heavy.
So basically, I mean, he's just saying "We Own the Night" in the chorus and kind of elongating it.
Yeah, I know, but like I know, like I didn't mean like catchy. Like I meant like it's very simple and accessible. Like the whole song is really, but like especially the chorus.
I think what people miss about the chorus in this song and "We Own the Night," it's meant to like it's more taken over by John, and I think that's what makes the songs great because like it's not often you get a chorus that's like primarily John instead of Tillian.
Yeah. If anything, that's what I wanted to say. "We Own the Night" it's actually more Tillian centered. Like he kind of owns most of it. And, you know, it's obviously, you know, it's more leaning to poppy, you know, like it would at least appeal to someone that's more into pop, you know. But, like, I'm actually looking at the YouTube views. Like, so "We Own the Night" has, like, 5.4 million, and "Inspire the Liars" has 7.4, 2 million more. So it's like,
oh, shit.
Damn. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the band got more popular, but...
For sure.
I mean, and everyone knows "We Own the Night" was written so Tillian could do body rolls.
But it's crazy. I mean, "Inspire the Liars" came out, you know, a good, how much? Like a year or two later? And it has that much more views? Like, woo.
Well, I mean, the Mothership was, like, I think their biggest album, right?
Yeah, generally. For sure.
It number 13 on the Billboard. And I think Artificial Selection was number 15, and Afterburner peaked at 14.
But I think Mothership, sold the best. Or
I thought Afterburner
got the most listens and things like that. So
Afterburner was number 1 on like the rock charts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The thing is, Mothership had physical releases to go alongside it. So Afterburner was kind of, if they had sold physical copies the same day as the release of the internet streaming stuff, it definitely could have pushed further up the charts. But the fact that it didn't have physical copies and it still was just as that successful is a testament to their strength.
Well, it probably wouldn't have mattered either because it came out like around the whole like quarantine stuff too for the physical sales. That is
a month afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame. They deserve it, man.
Yeah, but like the same thing with the fact that the physical copies weren't shipped out to people who ordered it online. So it's the corona. The corona ruins everything.
Mm-hmm. And all their songs are like falling off from it because they're not touring them right now. So
yeah, it's unfortunate.
But we want it.
All right, so who's got more to say about "Inspire the Liars"?
I got some stuff. You got some stuff, Ryan?
I'll let you go first this time.
All right. Well, I mean, this is obviously a favorite of the fans. I think it's deservedly so, even though it's not really a favorite of mine. Tillian, I think, sounds really good on here for sure. Let's see. Like I say, the funky part, it's like recycled from like "We Own the Night" too, like more or less, I would say. and I kind of it's like a softer version of it though. And I kind of think it would have been better if it hit harder for it, but like it's all right, I guess, because I think it was to give like it's supposed to transition into the next part. It's supposed to overshadow the next part, which is kind of like probably my least favorite part of the song is the "Let's Start a Religion" part, because they kind of lean too far into it. I think it was kind of just a cringy thing to say over and over again, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not really into. I mean, like I know people are like will quote it, but like I don't know. I thought it was kind of a dumb. I mean, like I'm not like religious or anything at all, but like I don't know. It's just kind of like one of those weirdly cringy things, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't blame you for thinking that. But honestly, like, yeah, it definitely has stronger lyrics. Like, go back to the vocal performance. Like when he says, like, let's go for the stories that remain untold. Like, he does this, like, kind of, I guess, vocal riff, and then switches to vocal fry out, like, all at once. Like really cool stuff.
Yeah, he sounds really good on the song.
Crisp, mate. Crisp.
Mm-hmm. Crisp.
I think it's my turn now.
Please.
Take it away, Ryan.
All right. Well, as Moses stated, I do believe this song shares a lot of structural similarities with "We Own the Night," with like the vocal lines being dragged like "lie" and "night," and I'll have to say that like while it does share that formula, I feel like they perfected the formula that they had with "We Own the Night" and kind of like implemented it in a much more in-your-face kind of manner. Lyrically, I feel like it's probably a little more accessible than like "We Own the Night" in some degrees, because everybody has relationship issues, and like there is like a tone of like relationship to it. But I feel like with there's a John Mess lyric that goes into this whole butthole thing. I think I'll shed some light on that. But he says, the butthole's full of the cancer spreading meat, which is kind of going into our like food service industry, kind of like feeding us food that gives us colon cancer, and colon cancer is definitely like a big problem in our society. And I think it goes into one of those things that like where people try to say like, John Mess's lyrics have deeper meanings, and it's definitely, I feel like that line itself like addresses a really big issue that we face in our health community. Other than that, I will say that the ending of this song is probably easily, hands down, one of the best outros in post-hardcore period. It reminds me of an old Armor for Sleep song called "The End of a Fraud," which kind of just has this like larger than life gospel like outro feel to it. And with like them talking about like religion and stuff, I don't think it's so much like let's start like Christianity or a cult or something like that. I think it's more along the lines of the following that Dance Gavin Dance has, how passionate, how fervent people are for this band, because it's true. There's more diehard Dance Gavin Dance fans out there than there are, say, Armor for Sleep, or, I don't see Silverstein posting anywhere. You know what I mean?
I'm
sure there's a Silverstein posting somewhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
But
I doubt it has the same, like, notorious, infamous connotations that Swamp posting has around it.
Where's their comic book?
Yeah.
I really don't think that End of the Fraud and Inspire the Liars are that comparable, because the reason why they're putting like religious annotations are completely different. End of a Fraud is just kind of supposed to sound like a choir almost, and they didn't really do that in Inspire the Liars. They just kind of slowed it down and sang about religion, which in End of the Fraud they didn't really sing about religion.
I mean, is it really singing about religion? I mean, the fan base thing I think is a fine theory, and I guess I like that. I think that's more acceptable.
I think it's I think it's about religion, because, like I said, this isn't the first time that they've sang about religion and how they're not.
That's true
really
too.
Cool with it. So, and it's also like a reoccurring concept too.
Well, I'm about to like prove you wrong, like again for like the millionth time, Moses. But basically,
dude, you've never proven me wrong except like maybe once.
every week. But I'm just kidding. No, like think of it this way: the end of the fraud, it ends, and it's telling you don't believe. Yeah, the day that you die, you got a gospel trained singer singing, to you. But
fine, I guess so.
don't talk
But
over me, boy.
Still.
Let me finish. Anywho, the end of the fraud is basically telling you don't believe what you have in your head. And at the end of Inspire the Liars, they're talking about starting a fraud. They're going to start a fraud religion to get people to follow them. Like if you listen, like the lyrics themselves, you can look them up. It's just about a bunch of dudes that want to start their own like following, and they want to create their own little mythos around.
I mean, that's what we're doing here at the Demo Team podcast.
I need my ego to explode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I feel like it's definitely like a very, very strong song, and I feel like the outro itself gives it more strength over We Own the Night based on formula, just because it's so larger than life, and it has probably one of Tillion's highest vocal performances in it. And the fact that you got Will Swan killing it, you got Tim killing it, you just have everybody working like in all 6 cylinders. And I just think like there's a reason why it's got 7 million views on YouTube. There's a reason why it's probably shared in Swan posting like every week.
I mean, I guess the outro just like reminds me of some dumb person trying to be edgy, or like a not well thought out get rich scheme.
Well, isn't that what all is? To be honest,
I mean, no. Well, I mean, but it's like people not thinking about things more, because there's more to it than that. As in, like, you got to actually be, appealing and things like that. You got to actually be profound.
The one last thing that I wanted to say is that, yeah, at the surface, it sounds a lot like We Own the Night, but to be honest, other than the chorus, to me they sound very different. Like they're a different vibe. You guys have mentioned that We Own the Night has like a funky bridge also, but it really doesn't. It's more poppy than funky, and
I get that.
Like that, and there's a lot more layers to We Own the Night than Inspire the Liars. So they might have taken what they did with We Own the Night, but they definitely like made it more compact and they almost simplified it, I guess, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, to add a different layer to the lyrical connotations, you got. I mean, if you dig hard enough, you will know that Tillion's dad was a Scientologist. So,
really,
yeah,
interesting.
So, I won't go too much deeper into that. That's someone's personal life. I'm not trying to dig and stuff, but if that.
I'm a Scientologist.
You say you are, but we know you're.
Yeah.
That should be a good PSA though. Like one thing about DGD fans is that they get like really into the band's like personal lives, and that shit's fucking cringy as fuck. You weirdos.
It does get to that point, yeah. A number
Don't
of times,
fucking do that.
No,
they're just people. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Don't fucking
David,
stalk their sisters.
I thought it was funny. That's weird. Don't do that. David, I thought it was funny the way you said layers. Reminded me of Shrek.
Layers.
Ogres have layers.
But no, the end up Inspire the Layers. I can get like just like how Tillion sings it, I can get like how you get that vibe. But like if you like read the lyrics and like what John's like calling back with, like it seems like they're kind of parroting religion and like, oh yeah, we can make our own rules. John's like so impressionable, can plan our own demise, all that stuff. But yeah, it seems like there's kind of like mocking it low key, like high key actually.
And like cults also planning your own demise. Like,
I mean,
fucking drink the Kool-Aid at the end.
Sounds like they're trying to be deep, but aren't actually being that deep.
So anything, sounds like they're being deep, like no, not,
which is like a lot of dance Gavin dance
edgy.
stuff. So
they're being.
See, now I think they're putting too much thought into the lyrics.
Me, I just said
what
I did the opposite. I said I think they're trying to be deep.
By the fact that you're saying that they're trying to be deep, but they're really not. That's you thinking.
Okay, they're trying to parody it, but they're not really parodying that well. I don't know. It's like
I think they're being edgy about their own beliefs.
I guess, but it's like not like that profound or anything. But
they're not trying to be profound. Like that's they don't care about being profound. I think they're just saying what they feel.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, hey man, you got to remember, sometimes lyrics lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Well, no, Chilean said everybody be on my dick like preacher, man. Like, you know, like I'd be 100% serious about that.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty funny though.
That's a great line. What the
fuck,
Chilean?
But I wish John would say that, but that'd be funnier.
But unless you know,
see, and there goes that whole thing where people
that's true.
are more forgiving about the shit that John says and not like they don't let Tillian have fun. Let Tillian have fucking fun.
I'm just confused by the line. I'm like, what are they like? Because okay, the preacher thing. Like, there's a joke about preachers kind of being, you know, like rapists and shit like that. So it's like,
I don't think it's about that. I think it's more about like, you know, people be on preachers' dicks because like. There's like a level of confidence that you have to have.
Double
like,
entendre.
Almost be, you know,
see, Cash, it is deep.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it to an extent, not like, but I don't know. It's whatever.
I think it's just some people.
I guess you can go the Catholic Church route, but we don't need to go there.
Yeah, but yeah,
that would be. I don't think that's what they meant.
Well, no, it's like a double entendre, though, I think is the thing. It's like supposed to have a double meaning.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I've said my piece on Inspire the Layers.
Yeah, speaking of Shrek, though, is there ogrecore? Is that a thing yet?
Yes, there is. There's totally a band that does. There is. I'm not kidding. There totally is.
I mean, I kind of figured.
John Mess on DPM. That's ogrecore.
There's Slam Worldwide has a band that's totally like all about ogre. It has like Shrek quotes between it, and it's just like the grindiest grindcore slam in the world.
Sounds awesome.
Swampy, huh?
Yeah, I'll send you guys. It's the Ogre Packet Slammers.
Interesting.
Great.
I'll send you guys a link. That shit is so fire, dude.
But I'll listen. But yo, I think the next song. What's that next song, y'all?
Philosopher King. Speaking of trying to be deep.
This song's a fucking banger, man.
Dude,
this is John Metz's shining moment on the whole album, man.
Like, what else is there to say about this song besides that it's great, it's pretty heavy. Like, I feel like it's really, you know, in the pocket for the band. John absolutely kills it in this song. Like, we get a great performance from everyone. And I really dig the beginning of the bridge where Will is just kind of tapping away. And then Tim and Matt are doing, like, these singular, like hits. Like, it's almost like a metronome type of thing.
The tempo change there.
Bridge.
Yeah, it's a fun little, you know, Matthew moment. I like it. But dude, no, like, if anything, the intro. That's honestly one of the most unique intros they've done, in my opinion. And like the intro itself makes me think, it makes me think I'm being abducted onto the mothership. Like it's landing and it's sucking me up, and then it slams me the fuck down with that, like the rest of the song. Like, like I don't know, I love that. The intro's badass.
That's some dope imagery.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I just thought that listening today, I was like, seriously, just that intro alone just makes me think I'm being abducted, you know, kind of like, oh, that's weird. It's I don't know, it's a dope riff.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I would say, like, this song is like the breakdown in Awkward but like sped up and turned into a whole song because it's just it's just like it's while not as like extreme as say like Shark Dad or anything like that. It's definitely
really.
No, I would say Shark Dad is definitely more balls to the wall.
What do you mean, like, oh,
extreme? You know what I mean? Like, what? You don't
Shark Dad
agree?
has like a weird vibe to it that like I really dig. So I totally get what Ryan's saying, and I'm in agreement. Like where it is very reminiscent of the breakdown in Awkward at the end, but just made into a full song.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel while it's probably not Tillian's like strongest like chorus in the album, like he's definitely got some like bars. I feel like this song definitely highlights John Mess's abilities in like the heavy realm because it's just this song smacks you in the face, man. The dissonant chords in the background, just everything about it is just. It's like
Have you guys noticed that in the songs like this and okay, I'm not or the other song titles aren't coming to mind, but like any of like the heavier songs, like the songs that Martin is in, which this one isn't one of them, but like I feel I feel like the chorus from Tillian isn't like as good as you would get from like I don't know, like a Inspire the Liars or anything like that, or like anything that has a poppy chorus.
What this and Say Hi? You mean?
Yeah, and let me.
I do agree. Say Hi is pretty weak, and repeating the same lyric. Yeah, I've never cared for that personally. Other than that, like 5 out of 5 song, especially this one, I think.
Like even the Rattler, you know, and I would say that the Rattler probably has like one of the best choruses out of the heavier,
better ones, yeah.
The heavier discography of Dance Gavin Dance. But it's interesting. I don't know.
Agreed.
But go
like,
on.
For Philosopher King itself, I want to argue. It has some contenders, but I want to argue that this is probably like the heaviest DGD song to date.
I don't think it's the heaviest.
Nah.
Oh, my guy.
It's a good heavy song, but is it their heaviest?
Bruh? Okay.
No.
Okay. So, that intro, you got John Mess going, you know, he's killing it most of the time. So let's, and then what is it? Like the bridge section? I don't know, but like, it's like after a minute in, like John screams the lyrics like friend, then he repeats friend, make my life. Like the first time I ever heard that, like my mind was blown. That part was insane. And then the drums and the guitar like both chugging and just killing it at the same time. Like I don't know, man. Like for me, this is like this DGD song like hit me as the heaviest. Like
I almost feel like you could say Man of the Year is like heavier.
It's definitely it's like aggressive.
If you take that intro out, like you're getting like almost deeper vocals from John in Man of the Year. But
Man of the Year is pretty aggressive, and but heavy.
I'll agree that he goes deeper in the gutturals in that song, but like the structure, everything around it, I would probably agree with David that this is easily the hardest song on the album.
Yes.
Oh, it's the hardest one on the album. Yes, maybe, but I don't know.
What would you say is heavier?
Like back to back, but something tells me that Man of the Year is a little bit heavier, but.
I feel like there's a lot of Tillian choruses and verses in that one, and while John Mess
he's like screaming through like almost through the whole song, like Tillian, except that little intro.
Oh yeah, he's pretty aggressive using vocal fry for sure through a lot of it. Like it's aggressive and like definitely hard hitting and emotional and like heavy in tone and everything. But I don't know. It's more
emotional, like, so maybe that's why I think it's heavier. But like I said, at the like I don't even know when's the last time I listened to the song, but I feel like I'd have to listen to them back to back to be 100% on my opinion.
Yeah. I get.
But
I will say that you have me cornered right there because there's definitely more emotional weight in Man of the Year.
for sure, yeah, no, that's just part of its appeal.
How about that bridge?
Definitely amazing.
Yeah.
Won't say better.
Bridge.
Man of the Year's bridge.
No.
No,
Man of the
Philosopher
Year
King.
next episode.
You're right.
Yeah, slow your roll, man.
I'm not sure it should be by the bridge though. Like what section?
Really pretty part.
The part that I talked about,
the tapping.
The tapping and Tillian's, I forget what he's saying.
Won't say that you're better.
Yeah.
Won't tell you
Something like that, yeah.
etc.
See, that's where the melody came back. It's definitely. I gotta agree with the sentiment. Like his main chorus. Like definitely, it's weird. Like I've even seen some comments say like some people were like straight up like that didn't have like a good sense of melody at all or something. Like some people. I won't
really
say that.
like that part.
Like I like his. I don't know. I can enjoy his lyrics and stuff. But I don't know, like the melody wasn't like flowing as well as like most tracks, I'd say. Especially, I mean, on Inspire the Liars, man. Like, we were like gushing over that, but like here, I'm like, I like the lyrics and stuff.
I like the song. It's like
it sounds good.
Great. It's a great song, but when it comes to Dance Gavin Dance, I like the perfect blend of heavy, poppy, and funky, and the song's just kind of missing the poppy and funky. But you get, like the chorus is fine, and you get that cool little bridge. But like the most important part of the song is you get the heavy. You get some great John Meth stuff here.
Wow.
Riff.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm just realizing more and more with this track. Like this makes me feel like, okay, this is Mothership. This is, this is from the album Mothership. Like it has like this weird alien ship like vibe, especially with like Ryan said, like the dissonant chords, like I said with the breakdowns, like the dun 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 dun. Like it's like I don't know, man. Yeah, this song does things to me, man. Like if anything, like I know y'all don't like fully agree that it's the heaviest, but like at most I could say like Carve and Demo Team like might be contenders, stuff like that. Like I don't know, what do y'all think on that?
Definitely. I was thinking Demo Team, but I was like not sure if I was gonna say it.
Carve or Demo Team, man. Like
I would say High. Hey.
Yeah, I was also thinking Say Hi.
Okay, yeah.
Definitely their heaviest song to
Say Hi. I would go with Say Hi, I think. But Demo Team and Carve. But I think Demo Team beats out Carve.
Interesting. I don't know. I love both of them, so I don't want to choose. To be honest. But not like honestly, those four, it includes like put in Shark Dad, and those are probably like my top 5 heavy DGD tracks.
What if DGD only played their heavy stuff at a concert?
That'd be cool.
They're like that'd be amazing. Yes.
Philosopher King, would be, Demo Team,
the whole crowd
Carve, Say Hi.
The Rattler.
We'd probably have more casualties at that DGD show than we would at a Wiggles concert. I'm just saying.
Be like Death Clock playing.
If anything, I'd say Doom and Gloom's a little heavy too. Like not even just the outro's really. I've always liked the heavy outro for that, but I don't know. It seems pretty moody and kind of heavy in its own right, I'd say.
I think it's very far away from these ones though. Before
I haven't listened to Acceptance Speech in so long that
my guy.
I get those 3 songs like mixed up. Like which one's the one which one's the one where like it's just John like almost like repeating, saying like higher than my, and then like
that's Demo Team.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't consider that song that heavy, but
Demo Team.
Yeah, I'd have to listen. I'd have to listen to the whole.
Demo Team's pretty heavy for sure.
The only thing I'm remembering is Tillian sounding like a robot on auto tune or like a chip.
No, that's
robot.
That's Death of a Robot.
Carve.
That's
Or
both
Carve.
Yeah, that's all.
Carve. Yeah, Carve.
Oh, maybe it's Carve. Yeah, it's Carve.
Squish it in my wrist while I twist it, give it a wrist. Yeah, but bullshit.
Yeah.
I think Demo Team is harder than Carve for sure, but I guess we should have this conversation at another time.
On acceptance speech, yes.
Yeah.
Which I will say, though, going back to the Doom and Gloom stuff, I get Doom and Gloom, Strawberry Swisher Part 3, and like Honey Revenge. They all just kind of flow together for me. So
dude, I love
even though they're all distinct.
I love Doom and Gloom.
I can't wait to talk about acceptance speech, yo.
Yeah, we need to like finish this episode.
Yeah, I'm serious. That's one of my favorites. So I'm down.
Yeah, let's get through instant gratification already.
You see, audience, we have a lot to say.
Oh, for sure.
So, who has anything to add to Philosopher King?
Philosopher King, yes.
One thing I wanted to say was like I feel like it ends too abruptly.
Huh. Yeah, I never got in that sense, personally.
Like I listened and I'm like, damn, I kind of wanted just a little bit more, like a more conclusive ending. But you know, it's like I guess doing an open-ended ending is like all right too. But
I get that. I mean, it's like a 3-minute song it's almost 4 minutes, just about, but it doesn't quite hit the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, but it's just like
a lot from Dance
340
from Dance Gavin Dance songs. And I wonder if it has something to do with like them moving like the structure around, because I felt that way about what was the song where I talked about the structure? Maybe it was Deception. Yeah, I feel like Deception's shorter than it actually is, but it's because they throw the bridge like right in the middle. So then after that it just goes to the second chorus or the second verse, and then it does a chorus after that, and then it just ends. So sometimes I think it's the way that they play with the structure that makes it so abrupt.
Well, it's more like the part. It's like I don't remember if it was ended on a chorus, like a verse or a bridge, but it just felt like it ended just really abruptly, and I was like, damn.
Well, considering that Frozen One is the shortest song on this album, I mean, yeah, it could have been shorter. We could have got less.
I suppose.
We got like about almost.
I guess it's not really about the length. It's about like it not really feeling as conclusive as I would like it to feel. But that's a little abstract, so we can move on.
All right, so we're moving to Here Comes the Winner. Like I really love that like main riff at the intro. Like it sounds really cool. I enjoy the entire song except the part where Tillian sings "Here Comes the Winner." Like I don't know, there's just something kind of like off-putting and cheesy about it. But the good thing about that is that they don't repeat that. Like it's kind of like a one and done thing. That could have easily been the chorus, and thankfully it's not, because I probably would not like the song as much.
I can agree. That's because they got a way better chorus to fill in later. Anyway, so
yeah. So Tillian hits us with some great vocals throughout the song. Like you get that short falsetto when he sings "Cutting the Bald Ones Down," and like the transition into and out of the falsetto is like,
oh yeah,
it's so quick and
so
it's
smooth.
like not, and so smooth, and it's not an easy thing to do. Like Tillian and Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy, like they do that really well. But like if you ever try to just like sing something and go from a falsetto for like a single word and then like try to change it right away, it's like almost impossible. So they have like really good technique in that.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, in that sense. And like I really enjoy when Tillian and John start screaming together, like in the first verse, where they're saying it's here, it's right there for you to take it all. Like, dude, when they're like, really just both kind of like screaming together, it's sick. It creates like a great moment, and like that. It's almost like one reason why I like Tillian over Kurt in Dance Gavin Dance. Like he has more layers to him. Like when Kurt tries to go hard, like when when Kurt tries to go hard, it almost it makes me feel bad for him. Like, oh, you're destroying your voice. Like it like I don't like maybe it's his technique or whatever. But yeah, my favorite moment is when Tillian like absolutely pushes his voice like in the post chorus. So like when he says "moments together, sell them well."
Sell them well.
That hits so hard, man.
That's Tillian straining, like Moses. I agree 100%. Except like that was not too bad to bring that up. Like this is why I'd put this stuff like this album. This is kind of why I'd put Tillian above Kurt and Johnny. Honestly, like Johnny, he has a great voice, but I mean, this is straight up switching vocal techniques and like adding, a lot of people criticize him for like, relying on belting and stuff like that, and some people could say that same for Kurt a little bit here and there, but like Tillian, dude, he's incorporating multiple techniques and stuff, man. That's skill and that's talent, man. It's great.
Yeah, I think what really sets Tillian apart from Johnny is that Johnny heavily relies on like natural talent, and Tillian is really technical. Like even when they're not, recording, like he still books like studio appointments to just work on his vocals.
Yeah,
and he's like constantly doing that. So like he's like a badass for sure.
Mm-hmm.
In an interview, Will said that this song's about reality TV show competitions, and once you like read through the lyrics, it makes sense.
Yeah,
which one?
Kind of like The Bachelor and all that shit. Like the thing,
Survivor.
like the voice and all that stuff.
It kind of made me think of like politics and stuff like that to look good to the fans and to appeal, being self-aware and all that, looking so poised and so self-aware and all that.
Yeah, but that's stuff you have to do in like those singing reality TV shows and shit.
Oh, for sure. Image is everything, right?
Yeah. And do you want to say what you got to say, David or Ryan? Who wants to go next?
I mean, I'd be willing to let Ryan go.
Oh, you're willing? You're willing? You better be. I'm just kidding.
Yes, I allow it.
I'll say it right now. This Here Comes the Winter is easily, hands down, without a shadow of doubt, with a tear in my eye, this is the best Dance Gavin Dance song ever made.
Oh,
what the fuck?
Hey, that's high praise, my guy.
I'm sorry, guys. Like, I love Open Your Eyes and Look North. I love Paul Barker. Those are my two favorite from the other two guys. But Here Comes the Winter.
I like those ones better.
No one cares, Cash. But no, I'm just gonna say that this song is infinitely accessible. Like, it shows you everything that Dance Gavin can do. Dance Gavin Dance can do aside from like a rapping verse. It's got highest highs. It's got your lowest lows. It's got the sick riffs. It's got Tillian and John screaming on top of each other over like a double bass pedal. Like, there's a lot of harmonies in the script. Yeah, exactly. And it's to me, it's like my favorite Tillian era song. Like, I love it to death. It's one of the few songs I like know all the lyrics for both singers to. It would be this one and Turn Off the Lights. I'm watching Back to the Future Part 2.
Yes, the best one.
This song is just one of my like absolute favorite songs by them. And lyrically, yeah, it's definitely got the Voice American Idol like look on it. I can understand like band dudes getting kind of like pissy with that stuff, because it's just like they grind through bluegrass movement to try to get their record sold and get on stage, and then you got all these people that sign up for a reality show just to get like embarrassed in front of crowds just for the hope of fame and celebrity. When
now one of them's the singer of Slaves.
Hey, their name's not going to be Slaves here in a little bit.
Redacted.
They really should just call themselves Redacted. That'd be hilarious.
I'm looking that up. If Redacted's the name of a band, but you can keep going.
But I love everything that's going on. I love the just the slick riffs. I love the drums. I love the bass. I feel like all the pieces are working together, and they've conjured something in this song that's just like, I feel like it's like a show off piece for everybody involved. Like everybody gets their own little moment to show off like what they do to the best of their ability. And whether it be John Mess's rapid fire delivery, or just like the synchronization between the guitar and bass, or just fucking Matt Mingus doing what Matt Mingus does and just like tear apart his drum set for our ears to enjoy. I'm just like, it's like a 10 out of 10 song for me. I could be here all day just ranting and raving about it, but I'll pass it off. Who wants to go next?
Oh, well, I was going to say there are 7 bands named Redacted on Spotify, not including DJ Redacted.
Yeah, nice. But no, like honestly, Ryan, like it's definitely like not my favorite or anything like that, but like
not even close.
But it's got all the elements, it's got all the stuff, and it's topped off with like a badass chorus. I can get it, man. Good, good, not a bad pick at all. Good shit. So I definitely regard it as like one of the top tier songs. I don't know, but maybe not my top 5 on this album. So that's the thing. But
all right, y'all hit all my points, so y'all can move on.
Wait, do we?
What?
Do we know your point?
No, y'all like we hit it. I didn't really have that many points, and y'all pretty much hit everything that I was going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Exposed. I mean, yeah, this is easily like, I know I said Here Comes the Winter is like accessible to like to give people like a feel of what Dance Gavin Dance like is, but I feel like Exposed is probably easily one of a song that you could show to anybody. You could show it to somebody that doesn't even listen to like post-hardcore, swancore, heavy music in general, and they'd be like, "Well, that was kind." Like,
Funny story about that. I was gonna say this song makes me sad, not because of the lyrical content or the song or anything, but like I saw an interview with Matt Mingus, and he said that he thought this song was going to be like a mainstream hit, like it was going to be like on rock radio and stuff like that. And he was pissed that it wasn't going to be. And I was like, I could totally see it making that. So
I was literally just going to say.
They didn't push it as a single though. So
no. Yeah, that's true.
Like they did, yeah. But I don't know. Like when you think of like the main songs that are on like rock radio that are like the chart toppers, none of them really sound like this, so I really wouldn't see it as being that kind of song.
Well, I mean, I don't think it sounds like that. Like, it doesn't sound like Imagine Dragons or stuff like that, but it sounds like it's definitely accessible, and it's like that could definitely, I think it could definitely be on alt rock station for sure.
It's accessible,
for sure.
But I definitely don't think it would be a huge radio hit. Like, I think almost a song like Blood Wolf had a better chance. If it
I don't think he wanted to be a radio hit. I think he wanted it to be a song that got radio play was the thing. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe he did want to be. I don't know exactly what he was saying in the interview, but
yeah. I mean, with that being said, like I think the song is like absolutely beautiful. Like that guitar riff, like in the intro and the verses, like I don't know. It just gets me. Like it almost brings a tear to my eye. Kind of like Here Comes the Winter brings a tear into Ryan's eye. Killian's voice almost sounds like angelic in this whole song, and like the band has a like handful of like ballad type of songs, but this one is easily like the closest to like a traditional ballad. The song just really resonates with me. The lyrics are lighthearted but have some depth to them at the same time. I find the whole song endearing and sincere. Even like, I mean, it kind of sucks that that John isn't in the song, but it's like one of my favorites, and I think it stands out because John's not in it, but he is missed.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like you can really hear the bass. They bring it into the forefront for the verses. There isn't too much going on, so they kind of just let it like I don't know, they bring the bass to the forefront and kind of let it take over as like the main instrument.
Yeah, that was a good choice. But like, if anything, I gotta agree with Cash. Like I was about to say, like I could see this song doing really well, like especially on like I could see this being on like an alternative station or something like that, and it would have done really well if they pushed it as a single. And hot take, unpopular opinion, but I would have I like the song more than Betrayed by the Game. Like I would listen to this first.
I mean, it's my favorite song on the album, so yeah, I would definitely.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the song I listen to the most. It's off this album.
Wow, that's.
But I'm also like not that into this album either.
So many people rank that as like the worst song, possibly in history, for DGD.
Exposed.
Yeah.
We should expose them.
It doesn't surprise me because like a majority of the listeners are into more heavier stuff. So I guess I would understand why the song is disappointing to them, but like I started out listening to like pop punk and emo, and I like a lot of pop. So to me, like I feel like this is a strong song, but at the same time, I definitely don't see it on like I don't know going that far on like radio wise because
I mean I think it would get play, and that would be
for sure
good enough for them. But
I agree.
But actually, I don't know. I think it could get play on radio actually, because like it's just a really pretty song and it sounds good, and it's like, and the way this album chart like did so well, like I think it probably could have like catapulted the song even higher if it was a single.
I mean, there's a lot of songs that are pretty that don't even make it a radio. So.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's very true. Man. But this is also a pretty huge band, though.
I mean, I don't know about pretty huge, but they're definitely blowing up, and they're definitely one more of a presence now.
Dance Game and Dance. I mean, like one of the biggest, if not the biggest band. I don't know, maybe not the biggest, but it's like.
Yeah, like I'd love to think that, but.
I mean, like I think they're pretty big though. Like, what, like them, Bring Me the Horizon, and like who else is as big as them?
I mean,
those two.
I mean, I don't know if this is for sure because I don't listen to the band, but like I feel like a lot of casuals like I Prevail, so I'm assuming that they're on.
I Prevail gets radio play.
Yeah,
and their stuff is way worse than Exposed.
Well, that's why it's on the radio, because only shitty stuff gets played on the radio.
Unfortunately, as much as y'all want to like compare like Dance Gavin Dance to Bring Me the Horizon, I think in terms of like fame and notoriety, the only ones in our scene that come close to Bring Me the Horizon in terms of popularity would be Falling in Reverse, who has like 13 million listeners on Spotify, which is like 13 times more than Dance Gavin Dance.
We really need to stop about from falling to reverse and escaping the fate, because both of the bands.
That spans in this genre.
No, Escape the Fate is good. The first album is good. Everything else sucks. But
I'm totally wrong on Falling Reverse's numbers. There's only it's just under 3 million. I don't know where I got 13. I guess
all right. So, but I was thinking maybe A Day to Remember might be up there, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think Remember is somewhat big. They were on a fucking Marshmallow song.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Remember is got 4 million listeners, so they're bigger than Falling in Reverse. So, but Bring Me the Horizon, since we're comparing.
Like, who cares?
I know. We're talking about it though.
We're supposed to be talking about Exposed.
What about Exposed? It's like based off the conversation.
We're talking about radio hits. We're fighting in favor of Cash being right that Exposed would be popular, and I agree. I think it would be popular. I just think the problem would be just getting it to those ears to listen to it. You know what I mean?
But it's like Dance Gavin Dance. So it's like I bet you whoever runs the alternative stations, except for maybe like whoever's, I don't know exactly how it works, but whoever is curating like the whatever they're putting on there probably is aware of Dance Gavin Dance.
Yeah,
everyone should call into your local Latinx radio station and request Calentamiento Global.
Do it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Get that on the radio.
All of them, because you've got multiple ones well, actually, I don't know, because I'm from Texas, y'all are from California. Maybe they don't have multiple Latin stations all over the country.
California, yes, they do.
Well, I know, like but like I don't know if like say Nebraska, for example,
or Moses.
Well, Florida probably does because Cuba and Puerto Rico, but like I don't know if you go into like Ohio and getting multiple Latin stations.
I get that.
But like everywhere else, you got like 3.
Me personally, yeah, I get that. Does anyone have anything else to say about Exposed before we move on?
Yeah, real quick, just that chorus though, like when Killian said, "As all my secrets start to show," I felt that, like literally just like the way, just that line alone, like it has a lot of emotion, and I don't know, like it always hit me, like I don't know.
You know why? Because of Tim or because of Matt's drumming. So he's just building it up.
Yeah, I like the strumming pattern, the beat of it. You know, it's just well put together chorus. Yeah, if anything, that chorus alone, like I feel like more normie people, appreciate that too.
I guess the 2 things I want to say is that like the one part of the song I don't like is the very, very beginning of it, the doo or whatever, like the guitar part. That's
go home, Cash. Go home. That's awesome.
That's such a cool riff, man.
I love that effect. Everything about it is awesome. It's kind of like a wonky world of like when the Beatles started like messing around with like weird sound effects. It's just kind of got that like wonkiness to it that I like that Dance Gavin Dance puts in that.
All right, sure, whatever.
Stop hating old music, Moses.
Right.
The Beach Boys are gonna find you, Moses, and they're gonna beat the shit out of you with soap bars inside a pillowcase
with surfboards.
Anything that came out before 1988 sucks.
Yeah, like how old are they?
Bro, you just like totally just like shit on the 80s.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Yeah, that's so lame, man. Terrible take.
Now Billy Idol's just gonna come show up and just beat the shit out of you with like his hair gel.
Let's
corny,
Billy Eilish.
What
Billy
the
kind of corny, but like whatever. He's fun as fuck. I saw him once.
Billy Idol, the man. I saw him once
in a
too.
punk band before.
Yeah,
he was in Generation X.
Yep.
Wait. So what about Billie Eilish?
Billy Idol, not Billy
Exactly.
Eilish.
Exactly. Billie Eilish is more edgier than Billy Idol.
Well, okay, fine, but like, who cares?
I'm just.
I mean, I don't really care about who's edgier in the situation because that's not what Billy Idol was going for.
Punk rock and hardcore from the 80s was dope, though.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously, like, Motown shit came out before 88, so that shit was cool, too. Mm-hmm. Don't get your fucking panties in a bunch.
Damage Control over here. You hear this?
Old music is cool.
He just hates old music from white people.
There you go.
I zoned out, but I just heard white people.
One last thing I want to talk about, if y'all are ready, or we can keep talking about this because this is pretty funny.
Let's go into recent listens.
Wait. There's one more thing I want to talk about in the song that I don't think we talked about enough, and that's like Will's guitar tone on it, like the really fuzziness. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
We like to see it, man. I like it.
Yeah.
Anyone
else want to talk about the guitar tone or not? We done?
All right. Well, yeah. So If I Die First released their debut single, Where Needles and Lovers Collide. I like it. It's a good song. It sounds a lot crispier and fresher than it did in like the EP that we got, because we got to listen to the whole thing.
Humble brag.
Yeah. To the whole thing prior, like a month prior before it comes out. I think this is a solid choice for their debut single. I do like, what's the name of the song? Something about Is It Me or Your Secrets that keep you up at night. I like that song a little bit better, but yeah, the song's kind of high octane and it hits all those kind of like post-hardcore check boxes from like the MySpace Scene Day eras. What'd you guys think?
One thing was funny was I think some Twitter account, like Scene Twitter account, said they were recommending the song and they said comparison pierce the veil. That was
the only reason I would it's because of like Lotus is like
the vocals
like way more high pitched than he is in like his regular stuff.
But there's way better comparisons than that though.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting to watch them perform this in a live setting. Like, are they gonna, I don't know, try to go maybe like play it like an octave lower, or is he really gonna go that high like for these 6 songs? Because he sings pretty high throughout all of them. One thing that I will say is that amongst the accounts and people that were shouting out the band and promoting the single So What Festival were shouting them out, and that was a really cool festival that they had in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, I always wanted to go and never got to go.
I went the 2 years that I lived in Texas, and Dance Gavin Dance played at both.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last one, Under Oath, played They Were Only Chasing Safety from like, beginning to end, and that was like, I don't know, amazing. Like, I relived my teenage years, so it was cool.
Yeah, I would say structurally and like sonically, I think this song is like, I don't know if you guys ever listened to A Skylight Drives, Wires, and the Concept of Breathing, but they got similar.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I didn't want to make the comparison because I thought it might be out of pocket.
Oh no, I would say like with that really high end range vocals that they have, I would say like it sounds like vocally it sounds a little more like Jordan Blake era, like kind of that like high like supersonic range with like the way the filters are on it, kind of makes it sound like a synth a little bit. But I would say it's a lot better than Wires and the Concept of Breathing, because to me Jag is kind of like Kellen Quinn and Sleeping with Sirens, where they're just in this little high range area where I'm just kind of like, oh, that's a little grating a little bit. But I feel like If I Die First kind of has this sweet tone that they like put their hands in the pocket of, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, like I feel like Sleeping with Sirens would have been a greater band if they like fully committed to like the Scene era post-hardcore sound. But they
I agree with that.
They kind of went away from that, and like they just ended up sounding cheesy as shit. Fucking cheese balls.
Oh, you love your cheese balls, man.
Who doesn't like macaroni and cheese?
Is this true?
Does anybody else have anything to add to If I Die First? I don't know if Gabe.
I do like that Sleeping with Sirens comparison too. I just was not gonna say it, but like their early stuff, it kind of sounds like that. But I feel like when they had testicles, like there's better comparisons. But like also, you should probably talk about the actual song.
Brought up Broadway. the guitar riff and like there's kind of like a breakdown towards the end that are very reminiscent to what Underoath was doing during their Only Chasing Safety.
And
Just kind of like
you can't. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Fast-paced pop punk feel.
Yeah. And you definitely from first to last comparison is definitely kind of, you can tell that these are fans of the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Travis Richter is a fan of From First to Last.
He's like the biggest fan they have, man. He's in the band and he has all their merch and he's always posting about them. It's like he was in the band at one point.
Like having listened to like the whole EP, like obviously there's comparisons to From First to Last there, but I don't think it's as close of a comparison as people would think it is. Like From First to Last really did some interesting shit musically that.
Oh yeah,
that
they love like those odd time signatures and stuff, letting a song go on a little longer, or letting those intros go on for like a 5 count or like a 7 count instead of like, they would just drag stuff
like
a little bit long.
Those lead guitar riffs that Matt would come up with, like they're just really interesting and they like really stand out. Like I don't know, like in Riding the Wings of and stuff like that. So I would say that If I Die First, they're great, love them, but like I definitely think that they need to like polish it up a little bit more and maybe try to do some stuff that really stands out,
I don't know, man. That Ned song, 911 one, I think that one's gonna blow everybody away.
Oh, that song is great, and like I said, the song that's after this one, where Ned actually sings the chorus, that stands out because it like in this whole like era of like in any post-hardcore, there isn't really any kind of chorus that's kind of a low and dreamlike, like almost like he told me that he was channeling Mineral and I forget what other band. It almost sounds kind of like Armor for Sleep, What You Do When, or not What You Do When You're Dead, but Dream to Make Believe, in the middle of a post-hardcore like screamo song, which is really cool.
All right. Anything else?
No. So I guess we'll move on to
Adventure Club with
that Adventure Club. I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of Captain Cuts?
Captain Cuts?
Captain Kurtz?
No, Captain Cuts is like these DJs from LA, I think, and they do like these huge, like hour-long mixes, where they mix like EDM songs with like emo and pop punk songs. Like you'll have like a script, like they'll take like the beat of a Skrillex song or what was that group he started with Diplo?
Are you talking
you?
Jack U and Diplo?
Yeah, Jack U.
Yeah.
So they would take like a Skrillex beat or Jack U, and then they would add like the vocals from like Paramore, Panic at the Disco, Thinking Back Sunday, and like they were really the first group that kind of did that on a big scale. So I think that Adventure Club was kind of taking from that like playbook, like, hey, let's mix these kind of like underground alternative songs with EDM.
I feel like Adventure Club's always done kind of stuff like this before, but
yeah,
they did a Taking Back Sunday one with a different singer, but no, they definitely didn't do it to the scale that they just did it. And
okay.
Yeah, I
mean, I've listened to them before, but like not like really deeply, and so I was kind of like.
I'm a big Adventure Club fan, and I have like 7 inches like vinyl that are like super rare. That's how into them I am. So like they've definitely done a lot of cool stuff, but like to like branch out and play like and add like Taking Back Sunday or stuff into their mixes. Like I would say that what was that Captain Cuts who kind of did that first for sure. Anyways, that's cool.
Are you sure? Are you sure, Moses? Because I'm about to prove you wrong again. Do you remember this little thing called the Legion of Doom?
Okay, yes, the Legion of Doom did it, but it wasn't
from the Justice
scale.
League.
It wasn't to the scale that Captain Cuts did it, and they mixed two. They most of the time they were mixing two emo songs together. So they would take like
okay.
they would take
give you
instrumentals. I was gonna bring up Legion of Doom, but I figured that you would be the only person that would even know who they were.
You know me so well.
Legion of Doom. Shout out From First to Last, or not From First to Last, From Autumn to Ashes, because I believe it was a guitar player who started the Legion of Doom.
Nice. Yeah.
So,
that's cool.
Anyways, what were the two songs on the Adventure Club song?
Was it Inspire the Liars and Betrayed by the Game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh. Perfect timing for this too, right?
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah.
Like I liked hearing Dance Gavin Dance in an EDM setting. It was fun. I wish it was longer too, or that they mixed more songs. But hopefully that's something that we get to hear more in the future.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna put John to work. Just playing.
I gotta say,
I would love to hear John's screaming and I don't know, kind of like a Steve Aoki vibe song.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be dope.
I mean, I don't know if Marshmello would go that far, but I mean, he's done it. He's done with stuff with A Day to Remember and some other pop punk stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, and Steve Aoki's done it. Like Steve Aoki has screamed in his own songs. Like he used to be in hardcore punk bands before he started doing the EDM stuff.
Nice. I was gonna Adventure Club. I really like what they did. They got on my radar when Craig Owens was doing some stuff with them. He had a song with them with Bad X Channels, and he did a variation of the words "best friends" redefined with them. And I didn't know what to expect with the Dance Gavin Dance one, but I will say I was pleasantly surprised, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Adventure Club is sick. Been listening to them since 2012. Definitely check out their Calling All Heroes EP. That shit was dope.
Do we want to talk about the new Skrillex and Kanye West together, or? Sure.
I mean, first of all, it's a Ty Dolla $ign. He's the main artist.
Yeah.
And who wrote it? He's worked with both artists before, I believe. He was on a Skrillex song, and he's worked a lot with Kanye, FKA Twigs.
Yeah, there's someone else on it too, FKA Twigs.
He's on it too. They're sick. There's actually one more uncredited feature, but it's nobody important. So shout out to them though.
Not yet.
Good job on getting on that song. But
Kanye.
Yes, future President Kanye, right?
I mean, I like the song. It was great. I like that beat. It's very reminiscent to the to that Lil Pump Kanye song.
Mm-hmm.
The boom boom.
You're
I don't know.
such a fucking hoe.
Yeah. I thought Kanye's verse was kind of weak. Ty Dolla $ign, but definitely got the better of that song. But
I agree.
But for Kanye, it was like I said, it was better than that other single he dropped with Travis Scott. That shit was borderline annoying. But Kanye used to be a great artist, so shout out to him.
Yeah, he was
808s and Heartbreaks changed my life, man.
Yeezus was probably the last good thing I guess he put out, I'd say. But so R.I.P. Kanye.
Had some bangers and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, in my opinion, his best.
Well, my Dark Twisted Fantasy came out before Yeezus, but what was I gonna say? Do y'all think he's going to be dropping something soon, an album?
I mean, I don't know, cause is he sticking to like the Christian stuff?
Well, no, he just. Well, I mean, maybe, but like he's like he announced he's running for president or whatever, and so sounds like he's trying to hype an album, maybe, but who knows?
Or hype the fact that he's running for president.
That's true. Hype a campaign, but
which I don't know how I feel about that, but I don't know. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Good idea. Yeah, I guess that's all the big stuff we all.
Was it really that big? I don't think so.
No, well,
it was huge.
I'm sure we'll forget about this Kanye song pretty soon, and
as long as Skrillex is on it.
I don't know. Skrillex can be kind of forgettable too. He hasn't really done anything.
Skrillex fell off.
Yeah, it's like
there was a reason behind that. I mean, he's been doing a lot of one-off singles, but what was that album that came out after the Bangarang?
Recess.
I don't remember.
Recess? No, it wasn't Recess.
It was the one with the alien on it or whatever.
That's Recess.
Is that Recess?
Okay.
That's his first full-length album. He's only known for like doing EPs and stuff. He's never really been a full album guy.
Which that kind of fell short.
Yeah.
From like the expectations that you got from.
It wasn't a game change. It wasn't as big of a game changer as Scary Monsters and Sprites was.
Yeah.
I'll give you.
And I guess everything after that just kind of felt not that memorable, and it kind of continues to not feel that memorable.
Because Jackie was amazing. Jackie was big.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't that. I mean, Jackie was cool at the time, but I don't listen to Jackie now, so.
I don't know, man. Purple Lamborghini with Rick Ross was pretty fucking sick.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not.
For the Suicide Squad. Or was it Suicide Squad?
That's not
maybe.
Something else. But
what have you guys been listening to?
his Sicko Mode remix was dope, though.
Yeah. I mean, he's in movies now, man. What can you do?
What movies has he been in?
Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay.
He was in Wreck-It Ralph, bro.
I didn't know that. All right, well.
I didn't know that either. Cinema was a cool little vibe, too.
Yeah, I love that song.
Shout out Skrillex.
Thanks, Skrillex.
We'll be listening.
We love you, Sonny Moore.
Oh, yeah. So what we've been listening to, like I said, I was back on my Spawncore shit. I've been listening to Animal Jam, House of Leaves, Wolf and Bear. Like, if you really want to hear Tim's chops, obviously listen to Wolf and Bear. The bass isn't as buried in the Wolf and Bear songs as it is in most DGD songs. I was also listening to Oranges. I forget where they're from, but they released their debut album, Taxonomy, on Blue Swan back in 2015. And I think they stopped being active in 2017, but the album still holds up. It was great.
Yeah, I was going to say, they broke up, almost immediately after, it seemed like, but...
Yeah. Some way or another, I feel like or at least I bring up Ben Rosette every week. He dropped a new album. Most of it is made up of the singles he's been putting out this year and last year. I guess that's why, because it seems like almost every week he was dropping a singles. Happy Hour, they put out their live sessions EP. It's only 3 songs, but they have a cool little track with Andres on it. And they covered Summertime by Will Smith's kid, Jaden. Yeah, good song.
Sounds great. Interesting.
Yeah, I would check it out, and hopefully we can get them on the podcast soon. I'll have to talk to Eric. So good friends of the podcast, Trapped. They put out their new album. They put out their new album, Shadow Work. So I had to check it out. And I should start off by saying that I haven't listened to anything they've put out since the that album that had Headstrong originally. But yeah, I don't know, dude. The song, like, there's some semi bangers in the album, but most of it sounds like what I'd picture Bon Jovi if he was still putting out music today.
Oh, geez.
Like, it's bad. It's bad.
Well,
it's easy.
Bon Jovi does still put out music, so you could compare them.
Oh,
if you
shit.
really felt like it.
Why? Who is letting Bon Jovi still put out music? Right?
The guy's a musician. He just wants to make music.
Good for him. Shout out Bon Jovi.
On the playlist.
We're halfway there, bro.
Let's see. I've been listening to this artist named No Love for the Middle Child. He put out this 3-song EP, and I don't know. It's kind of a cool little vibe. Like, it's like a blend of pop punk, indie rock, and like EDM production. So, like, I don't know. I think he's like a newer artist that's taking all of his influences and putting it together. I don't know. I've also checked out Dreamwife. They're an all-female band that mixes garage punk with indie rock as well, and I don't know. They kind of sound like a blend of Joan Jett, Metric, The Sounds, and The Cribs. I don't know. The name caught my eye, so I decided to check them out. And like the first song on their album was like, it was supposed to sound ironically bad, but certain parts of it was like kind of cringe. But I don't know. I'm glad I kind of decided to like keep listening, because I don't know. Like, the rest of the songs on the album are pretty cool. Spirit Box released a song called Holy Roller, and the music looks pretty cool. Like, it looks like that movie Midsommar. But yeah, like, I don't know. I really dug the song. It sounds like a good version of what Bring Me the Horizon is trying to do, because they're not executing it very well. Other than that, I've been listening to I Met a Yeti, Same Side, which is Kevin from the Story So Far's side project. It's got great chill vibes. And then this DJ producer from New York named Prince Fox. And that's basically it for me.
Interesting. Nice stuff, man.
What you got, David?
Oh shoot, man. What we got here? So what is this? There's this one single called "A Betting Man" by So Soon the Truth, and shoot, it's a cool little post-hardcore track. You know, it's got a nice cool little breakdown, some like cool chords. I don't know. It's a track to check out. "A Betting Man." Just give it a shot. There's also this one classical song, actually, "A Sparrow Alighted Upon Our Shoulder" by Johan Johansson. Like, I don't know, yeah, that's a little bit different, in classical music, but it's a nice song. I found it literally just by going through the For You and the, like, for Apple Music, you can find music categorized by moods and stuff like that. And that's basically how I found it. A nice little track if you're looking for something different. I've been listening to a lot of Hail the Sun, especially their track "Human Target Practice." Some would deem that song more relevant, in these times.
I feel like that song was already on our playlist recently.
You know what? It probably was, actually. But shoot, just shout out to that track. It's really good. Scrolling through more. I've been listening to a crap ton of Satori by I the Mighty. I know I put them as a song in the playlist yesterday, but I didn't talk about them. But I've been listening a bit more, and yeah, it's honestly one of my favorite. Satori is probably one of my favorite post-hardcore albums. They're up there for me. Tracks like "Speak to Me," "Failures," "Ivy," "Four Letter Words." Shout out to I the Mighty, one of my favorite bands. Let me see. Shoot, and I know y'all got me to listen to a lot of older bands. Like, I mean, for instance, like Fall Out Boy, but like their older stuff. And like, that was interesting. I've mainly been introduced to their newer stuff, like the newer age, like 2010s and up stuff. But I went back and listened to Take This to Your Grave, their 2003 album.
Yes.
And it definitely goes more hard, definitely more my speed. I like the song Saturday. I don't know, like.
It has screaming in it too.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Take This to Your Grave is like top tier pop punk for sure. I feel like we put that on last week's playlist, so.
Put on every week, basically. Probably half the playlist have Take This to Your Grave on it.
I'm sure they have a different song from the same era we could still put in there.
Actually, the song I put on for last week wasn't that one though. It was from Under the Cork Tree, so we're good.
Yeah. A great album.
Yeah, dude, I enjoyed it. Pretty decent listen. Have to give them that. Yeah, probably gotta listen to that. Later stuff after that. What is it? I listened to more from first to last. Actually, shout them out a bit more.
Did you check anything else out? What album were you listening to?
Well, like, I know y'all talked about it. Like, y'all brought up the song like "Kiss Me, I'm Contagious."
Right.
Ryan, of course, making his memes and stuff like that. And it got me to re-listen to that track. And yeah, it's come back. It's like another, like, one of my favorites on the album. Like, good stuff. If anything, I know y'all are bigger fans, but like, what would y'all recommend? Like, okay, I've heard some, I've heard like a few albums from the early stuff, but like, what would y'all recommend for like later stuff? Maybe.
If you haven't checked out Heroin, I would recommend that because it has Ross Robinson producing it, and I have Wes Borland, the guitar player from Limp Bizkit, as the bass player, and it's probably one of the most aggressive post-hardcore albums. There ain't nothing else that sounds like it, but if you haven't checked out Self-Titled or Thrown to the Wolves by From First to Last, that's the Matt Good era, and it's definitely, it's bellissimo. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Dead Trees isn't too bad either.
Yeah, Dead Trees is amazing. Don't ask Moses though.
If you want to hear a different singer sing "Ride the Wings of Pestilence" and "Note to Self," definitely check out.
And the latest Plague. And
the latest Plague.
And sing it correctly.
Check out Dead Trees, and like the guy is technical, but he is lacking that, I don't know, that tone, something that Sonny has that makes him like stand out and so great.
I agree, but like the music I think was very good on it. So
yeah, I'll have to check it out again because I've been meaning to.
You could do that. Check out In Fear and Faith.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
That kind of like thinking about Dead Trees, like came out in 2015, and like I don't think I was really listening to metalcore that much at that point. But like, do y'all remember the release of it? Because I didn't really pay attention that much.
I donated to the Patreon so I could get a copy of it. Unfortunately, my tier and the Patreon, or not the Patreon, Kickstarter. My tier and the Kickstarter got revoked, so I ended up just paying for it and not getting anything out of it. But I was happily to send money to that. It took them like a year and a half to release it after the Kickstarter, but I will say that Dead Trees did not get the acclaim or attention that it deserved. It kind of fell underneath everybody's radar.
It's because of the singer.
You would think the opposite, though, because Periphery is huge. As much as you want to hate on them, like they're massive. They're big. They're a big band. Like there's a reason why DGD invited them to the first One Fest.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I get it.
They're not my thing.
I get it. It's okay. It's okay to not. It's not your thing. But
if
David,
I was to recommend some From First to Last stuff that's not on that first album, I would say Grits from Thrown to the Wolves is great, and I'll inoculate the world with the virus of something.
My Disillusionment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's on Thrown to the Wolves too. Yeah. If you're gonna listen to something from Self-Titled, I would go with Beheaded, Marathon Man, or Deliverance. Or
2
I
as
Was
1
Once
is great.
Lost.
Also, 2 as 1.
Yeah, 2 is 1's
Was
great.
I think that was the first single that they dropped.
Yeah, that's a little
I
more
remember
pop punk.
liking it a lot. I liked it better than Worlds Away.
I love
sure.
Worlds Away. That song's amazing.
Eh.
I was once lost, but now I'm profound is another great one from Self-Titled. But
Yes, that's good.
David, if you're finished, I could go next on what we've been listening to.
Yeah, man, take the floor.
All right. So other than listening to Live, Love, Die Every Day of My Life by In Fear and Faith, I've been listening to a lot of synthwave recently. I just love me some synthwave. I love feeling like I'm trapped in the 80s, unlike Moses.
Synthwave can be pretty cool, though.
Yeah, synthwave's fucking dope. I just love it's just vibey, real vibey music. It just it's like perfect, like driving at night music kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's taking elements from the 80s and making it better.
Exactly.
But what band actually?
I've been listening to Ghost. It's like I'm sure it's pronounced Ghost, but there's no H. It's Ghost. They have this song that's called Garuth, Jarruth, or Garuth, whatever it is. It's kind of like a dark grind, like synthwave song. It sounds like borderline like a grindcore instrumental with synths on it, but it's amazing. I don't know if I've ever recommended it for this podcast before, but shit, man, it needs to be on there once again if it is. But other than that, there's this song from the Red Dead Redemption 2 soundtrack that I'm just hung up on 2 years later after the game's out. It's called Tabletop by David Lanois. It's a beautiful little bluesy, reverby. Just the tone on the guitar is just amazing. It's very somber. It just puts you in a mood, and it's just I love it. I always come back to it. Back on my synthwave though, I've also listened to this band called Turbo Slash. They have this song called Rush that just it's up there with Carpenter Brutt's Turbo Killer with just high octane, like in your face kind of thrill. But my other options in my synthwave category that I've been listening to would be Dance with the Dead. They have this amazing, just awesome song called Invader that just it gets you hyped. I love synthwave, but I love it when it gets me amped. I love high octane synthwave. I don't know if there's a different genre listing for the more up tempo, but other than that, in the post hardcore umbrella, I was listening to Cute Is What We Aim For's Rotation album, which has like Doctor, which features Burt McCracken of The Used, or Practice Makes Perfect.
Yes.
And I'm a big fan. Oh, wow, that's a big-ass firework. Anywho, I'm a big-ass fan of that album just because John Feldman kind of, like, perfected, like, Cute Is What We Aim For as a band, whereas I feel like A Fever You Can't Sweat Out was more driven vocally and lyrically, and the backing band was kind of just there. Rotation.
Cute Is What We Aim For, I just want to add, like, they're great. Their fans are cringy, and like they were borderline kind of cringy, but damn, they had really good melodies. Like their songs were catchy as hell.
Very smart, witty lyrics too. Like,
and what I liked about Rotation, it sounded a lot more mature than.
Yeah. Working with John Feldman. John Feldman has worked with the greatest. He definitely fleshed out the sound. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I don't know if the same members of the band were in Rotation that were on A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. I know at this point, Cute Is What We Aim For is only Shant because every other member has left the band. But yeah, there's definitely a more mature edge. I think John Feldman, he's got more like the most hands-on approach inside of the music industry, and sometimes he can hit them out of the park, and Rotation is definitely an album he does that with. A lot of
times he doesn't.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, he did a Dares album, he did Story of the Years album, he did the Used first album. He's done a lot of the Used albums.
Back in the day he was great, and then he's had some great stuff up to recently, but I think now he's just trying to like make everything sound like All Time Low and what's that Australian boy band that he produced?
We the Kings?
No, 5 Seconds of Summer.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. He definitely he's the dude from Goldfinger, dude. What are you gonna tell him then? If he tells you to sound like this, are you gonna look him in the eye and go, no?
Well,
I'd be
honestly,
like, you're a one-hit wonder. Shut up.
Man, good luck with that, dude. He's not a one-hit
Goldfinger
wonder.
wasn't that great.
Goldfinger was not great.
Yeah,
Man.
there's
They
definitely
had
better.
Superman.
Like I like ska and stuff. But yeah, I'm not that into Goldfinger.
I don't.
Like they have catchy stuff, but there's definitely better stuff out there.
I don't agree with y'all, but I'm gonna move on to my next. I've been listening to Reggie and the Full Effects. I think not their last album, but the album before that. It's called No Country for Old Musicians. It's got like a little baby Mr. T on the cover. There's a song on there called Kanji Tattoos. It features Adam Lazara of Taking Back Sunday. It's just it's brilliant. It's beautiful. I love Reggie and the Full Effect. He just, he's able to do whatever he wants. He kind of just has a little comedic snide.
You like early Reggie and the Full Effect, like Under the Tray?
Under the Tray and what is it? Lords of the Bling.
Yeah, because I really loved that stuff because it was still kind of. There were some songs that were reminiscent to the Get Up Kids, which he was on the Get Up for a good while.
I dig it. I mean, I love Mood for what is it? Is it about Mood for Doom? I don't know what the song's called entirely off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've heard it, but I feel like the early days of Reggie in Full Effect, while there are like some bangers like Smack and Katie and stuff like that, I feel like a lot of the tracks are just kind of like comedy filler, comedy, just kind of like little skits and
sure.
stuff.
But there's definitely songs that kind of stood out. Like "You're Bleeding Heart" is a great one, and
definitely.
Have you heard "Happy V-Day" with it had a singer of Hot Rod Circuit on it. That's my favorite Reggie and the Full Effect song.
I mean, while I was more of a fan of his. I think honestly, like musically, while not like it's like the least comedic of all of his albums, I think Last Stop Crappy Town, which he worked with the producer for 9 Inch Nails, like With Teeth album. I feel like that's probably like his magnum opus as like a serious musician, because just the whole thing just goes throughout his whole like process through going through rehab and shit, and like the whole album, like it's named after all the trains he would take to go to rehab. But like that album, from a mature standpoint, I would say is probably his best. But No Country for Old Musicians, which has this, I feel like is probably easily one of his top tier. It's up there. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got the comedy skits. It's got funny shit. I think it's a little more refined than Songs Not to Get Married To, which I felt was a little lopsided at points.
Yeah, I'll have to check out later stuff, because I was never really like able to get super into him, because like there was only a few songs that I really vibed with, and the rest was all just like silly filler songs.
I could make you up a playlist to like kind of cut the slack. That way you're not going around like going, I don't dig this. What is this? Skip. Because like Reggie, like I love the dude, but yeah, he does make some fillers sometimes.
That song "Caving" from Songs Not to Get Married To, that song goes hard.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Like that. Like a lot of people don't know, he was the drummer for Coalesce. I mean, he played piano. Yeah. He played piano in My Chemical Romance during the Black Parade tours. So
he also played synth for Newfound Glory for a while, and when Reggie and the Full Effect toured, the guys from My Chemical Romance were actually his touring band.
Oh yeah, and on No Country for Old Musicians, Frank and Ray play instruments, and they do backup vocals in a couple of the songs. So there's that, and finally on my list to cap me off, I checked out Foxy Shazam's new song called Dreamer. I'm really excited that they're making a comeback. I really enjoy their music. I've enjoyed it since the Flamingo Trigger. They've always kind of had like a frantic edge to them with like strong influences and like Meatloaf and like Queen and stuff like that. Kind of just gives like
Moses loves them.
that's his favorite band. But Foxy Shazam.
Wait, I like Queen. I don't like Meatloaf though.
I'm not a huge Meatloaf fan, but I can
he's love
like the operatic, like grandiose grandeur he has given music.
That is some white people shit right there.
That is definitely some. Foxy Shazam loves to get like they have influences that even that are like Little Richard, Chuck Berry, stuff like that. It's kind of got that old school rock and roll, like back when rock was being stolen by the white man. But it's a welcome back to true form. If you've never listened to Foxy Shazam, I definitely would recommend checking out the Introducing album. It was produced by the same guy who produced All's Well that Ends Well by Chiodos. But yeah, they've worked with they had a song on the Super Bowl, so I mean Foxy Shazam's reached highest highs. They're kind of just rebuilding after their last album, Gonzo, and they've had 2 singles after being gone for like 4, 5, 6 years. But that's about it for me.
All right. Pretty much. I've only listened to Texas in July this week. I will only listen to Texas July for the rest of the month.
Texas in July.
Just playing, but I did listen to him a little bit this week. Ironically, well, not really ironically, but because tis the season. I listened to Embraced early in the week because we were talking about Embracer, and it kept auto-correcting to Embraced, and so I was like, huh. And yeah, they're pretty good. I guess they were big in 2002 or something.
Well, they weren't even that big because they
not that big,
but later on, people found them and they're like, oh shit, this was good, and a lot of people kind of followed their format to kind of do the more scrams side of post-hardcore.
Definitely. Listen to From First to Last just to prime myself up for the If I Die First single that came out. We already talked about them, so move on from there. I listened to a lot of Alexis on Fire this week, or is it Alexis on Fire or Alexis on Fire?
It's Alexis on Fire.
That's what I thought.
Despite what people say that it can be said both ways, they always say Alexis on Fire.
I always heard Alexis on Fire, but I've heard enough people say the other way where...
Well, they're wrong and stupid.
Yeah. Listen to Dying Is Your Latest Fashion by Escape the Fate, because we told David to listen to it last week, and I wanted to see if it still held up. And I would say that it does for the most part, though there's some stuff I think that's a little dated on it. But yeah.
So out of that whole album, what's your favorite song from that cringy ass band?
The one I listen to easily the most, and it's heavy as fuck, is No Sympathy for the Dead. And that one's heavy as fuck.
It's a fire.
What?
It's a fire album, dude.
Yeah.
It changed the game as much as some people don't want to admit it.
I get why people don't like it. For sure, I totally see it in it. It definitely takes a lot from hair metal, the guitars and stuff, and the whole way they dress. Everything else, I think is pretty. That's it worked out pretty well.
Main whack part about them. Fucking hair metal wannabe guys.
No, you don't like hair metal?
I love Van Halen and not Motley Crue, but I love Van Halen and Journey.
Motley Crue's lit.
Yeah, that can be.
That shit was fun. Whatever.
I said lit, not shit. By the way,
go out of my way to listen to it.
But and also watch The Dirt, because that shit is hilarious.
Oh, dude, I watched that. That was pretty funny.
That was, yeah. And they said it's all fake too.
Any band that was dressing like that post the 80s, they were all douchey, and that's safe to say.
Yeah, I agree. Asking Alexandria or whatever, but I mean,
Black Veil Brides.
I didn't. Yeah, Black Veil Brides, but I think they went a little further than that.
Usually,
I always thought it was kind of cool looking, but not to the point where I think people should emulate it.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, Situations sits at 62 million views online, and I mean on YouTube, and like
It's a
Seosin's
hilarious music video.
It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, it's hilarious. I mean, You're Not Alone, a deep ass song by Seosin, only has 8.8 million. So
And
I
like,
mean,
they ripped that music video
people
straight
love
off of Van Halen too.
yeah. I mean, yeah, Hot for Teacher kind of shit. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's education. You just got to play to what people's nostalgia, and they totally did that with that whole look and appeal.
Actually, that reminds me of a story where like my dad was like grew up in the 80s, listened to, like was into hair metal and stuff, and so my friends they had a band, they were opening up for Black Veil Brides, and so my dad heard about it because they were like family friends or whatever, and he's like looks at the picture like, wow, I kind of want to go see this band because they look like a hair metal band. And I'm like, no, they're trash, so you probably shouldn't do that. But yeah. After Escape the Fate, I listened to this rapper, Erica Banks, who's supposed to be like this summer's next Megan Thee Stallion. And she's from Dallas, so I was like, all right, I'll check her out. I listened to friend of the podcast band, Least, which I don't know exactly how to describe their music. It's kind of like, do y'all know how y'all would describe Least? Have y'all listened to them yet?
Least with Talon?
Yeah, with Talon.
Yeah, I dig them, dude. Like, they're not riding no bandwagon, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Are they on Spotify?
They are on Spotify.
Yeah, they're worth checking out, bro.
How do you spell it?
Just like Least, like Least.
Oh, okay.
Least.
Does it have a period at the end or no?
I don't think so. But yeah, they're cool. And like,
wait, are they like a 2-people project?
Yeah, 2 people. I like do not know how to describe it, but like it's definitely
it's like the White Stripes for kids like us.
I wouldn't just say no, I think they're more than
Oh, okay. Wait, no, she's like, shout out to Taylor, by the way. She's cool.
Yeah.
I know that she's a big fan of Super Heaven, and just looking at the playlist, I guess it's gonna be kind of like that post grunge, like that kind of grunge revival, borderline shoegaze type stuff. But I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I guess grunge revival would be a good way to describe it, but it's like it doesn't sound like that grungy, but like I don't really know that much about grunge revival either, so
I'm looking forward to checking this out.
They described what their sound was on Twitter, and I was like agreed with it, but I totally forgot what it was. But yeah, they're cool. Y'all should check them out.
Look, it says they combine elements of grunge, shoegaze for fans of Super Heaven, Basement, and Balancing Composure. Makes sense. I'll have to check that out because I love all those bands.
You should definitely check it out. Support the scene. Support your buddies.
They're our biggest buddy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think anything else for today's episode, or we're gonna make it a 3-hour luncheon?
I had a few more things.
Few more?
I'll go through them real quick. Dinosaur Jr., which is basically like 90s like post grunge with like heavy guitars. Vivaldi, classical composer, and then like last night I was watching a lot of AFI like live videos. AFI was like probably one of my favorite bands like when I was coming up. So
okay, but what era of AFI?
It's like the turn of the century stuff. Like it's like pre-December Underground, even though that's what it got me into it. But like after their hardcore stuff, so it's like
Death of Seasons.
It's like what's the album with Days of Phoenix and like the ones before that? I think Black Sails was.
Black Sails and Art of Drowning. Black Sails.
Yeah, Art of Drowning.
First, and the Art of Drowning.
And then their All Hallows EP was also great too.
Yeah, that stuff was great. It was my favorite stuff from them, but I really dig the old hardcore shit too. Like, very proud of it. and stay fashionable.
I will say, like, their old hardcore shit, like, it's great, but like, sometimes it's hard to get through their albums because it just kind of like it's just kind of repetitive. But the early stuff,
AFI is allowed to do whatever the fuck they want.
That's true.
Nobody
Havoc is like so fucking
AFI
great.
can't tell. Yeah, even Black Audio was great. You can't tell. They also had a Davey was like the singer of like a No Doubt's instrumentalists. I forget what I think it was Race Car or something. Even that shit.
What was the
I
name of
remember that.
No, yeah, it was basically No Doubt without Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, Dream Car.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It sounded too 80s for me. Like,
yeah, we know you're so original. I'm just kidding.
I did see Black Audio live though. Black Audio, like, they put on a good show.
Dream Car was the name of the band.
Yeah.
Dream Car was
Black
dope.
Audio. Like, Black Audio isn't really my kind of vibe, but they put on a good show.
Yeah.
And I really liked Sing the Sorrow.
Sing the Sorrow was good.
Except Silver and Cold.
But yeah,
and then
well,
I didn't care for anything after that.
Go home. You can't talk shit about AFI, man. We'll die, dude. Davey Havoc will show up in our closet, and he'll go, "Oh!"
Like, I think everything they've done is good. It's just like to what extent of good it is.
It's to what extent that it's
like Dance Gavin Dance. It. Exactly. You know? But I would say they're that late 90s, early 2000s stuff is the best.
It's about to be the longest playlist in the world.
Yeah. But that's it for me, so let's close this baby out.
Thank you for listening to the Demo Team podcast.
I'm sorry that Escape the Fate is going to be on our playlist.
Again.
I'm sorry you had to hear Moses talk shit about all your favorite bands, audience.
Yeah,
nobody's favorite band.
He's being very snobby this episode.
Nobody's favorite band is Escape the Fate, and if it is, don't fucking listen to this podcast. Go listen to other music. Hit me up, and I'll put you on some good shit.
I hope somebody does. I want to see if someone.
Please do not stop listening to this podcast ever.
Please, ever.
Please, we're begging you. Please continue listening to us.
Shout them out.
Wow, we're gonna totally do a Dine is Your Latest Fashion episode.
Fuck no.
Honey Ryan / the number one. You can hit up my band, Stay Still Official, Moses.
I'm through being Mo on Instagram.
The end.
Shoot, you can catch me on Facebook at David Pottinger, Instagram Pottinger.David. Hit me up.
You can catch me at Cash Spicer on Twitter or the Cashleen Spicer on Instagram. And make sure you check us out at Demo Team Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Definitely look at YouTube and Spotify. I don't know. Everything.
We have some awesome interviews coming your way. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. Peace out, everybody.